I pray you, sir, receive the money now, for fear you ne'er see chain nor money more.
Oh, you are a merry man, sir. Fare you well.
What should I think of this? I cannot tell. But this I think, there's a man is so vain that would refuse so fair an offered chain. I see a man here needs not live by shifts, when in the street he meets such golden gifts. I'll to the mart, and there for Dromio stay. Then his ship put out, then straight away.
Act 4, Scene 1. A public place. Enter second merchant, Angelo, and an officer.
Is
So
Heidi?
she left.
Take a break for 30 seconds so I can get a chair. I've been standing all this time. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
8:30, and Jim was.
I'll go get a drink then.
Who's the officer?
Don't know. You got to just pick that up. This is like one line.
So is Richard back? Are we going to wait for him, or is he not in this?
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Oh God! Oh God!
But I'm not reading anything.
Remember in the old days?
Okay. Well, I said I wanted a rabbit, but they gave me a hare instead.
Remember in the old days, it would take like a week before it would start looking good. You'd have that scalp look for like a week.
You're looking well groomed, so I must say.
Oh, yeah, well, I got my hair cut about last week too, I think.
Oh, there we are. There we are.
There we are.
Yes.
'Tis the season.
Well, let's be jolly. Yes. Okay.
Splitting hairs.
There's a second merchant, and I'm reading Angelo, right?
Yeah, you got Angelo, Balthazar, Dromio of Ephesus. What else you got? I don't know.
So forgive me if I get stumbled there and I forget which one I'm reading. So just
trying to
remind me.
cue
You
you.
know.
Yeah, just keep on the same page.
Yeah.
I'll do the officer, I guess.
Cool.
Okay.
I think there's like that line and that line only for the officer,
Okay.
Okay.
or was it jailer? One of the two is like a single line.
Well, this feels good. This is where I'm going to read every week from now on. This is good.
All right.
At my kitchen sink. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Your head is in the middle of the frame too.
Isn't that amazing? I'm trying to get ahead of myself from time to time, but never mind.
Richard back,
Yeah.
There he is.
making his
Interesting
entrance, his
scene.
dramatic entrance.
Ta-da!
This guy knows how to make an entrance.
Start again.
Act 4, Scene 1. A public place. Enter second merchant, Angelo, and an officer.
You know, since the Pentecost, the sum is due. And since I have not much importuned you, or no, now I had not, but that I am bound to Persia, and want guilders for my voyage, therefore make present satisfaction, or I'll attach you to this officer.
Oh, even the sum that I do owe you is growing to me by Antipholus. And in the instant that I met with you, he had of me a chain. At 5 o'clock, I shall receive the money for the same. Pleaseth you to walk with me down to his house. I will discharge my bond and thank you too.
That labor may you save. See where he comes. While I go to the goldsmith's house, go thou and buy a rope's end. That will I bestow among my wife and her confederates, for locking me out of my doors by day. Ah, but soft. I see the goldsmith. Get thee gone. Buy thou a rope and bring it home to me.
Well, I buy £1,000 a year. I buy a rope.
A man is well holed up that trusts to you. I promised your presence and the chain, but neither chain nor goldsmith came to me. Belike you thought our love would last too long if I were chained together, and therefore came not.
Well, saving a merry humor, here's the note how much your chain weighs to the utmost carat. the fineness of the gold, and the charge for fashion, which doth amount to 3 odd ducats more, then I stand debated to this gentleman. I pray you, see him presently discharged, for he is bound to sea, and stays but for it.
I am not furnished with the present money. Besides, I have some business in the town. Good senor, take the stranger to my house, and with you take the chain, and bid my wife disperse the sum on the receipt thereof. Perchance I will be there as soon as you.
Then you will bring the chain to her yourself?
Oh, bear it with you, lest I come not time enough.
Oh, well, sir, I will. Have you the chain about you?
And if I have not, sir, I hope you have, or else you may return without your money.
Oh, nay, sir, I pray you. Give me the chain. Both wind and tide stays with this gentleman, and I, to blame, have held thee much too long.
Good Lord, you used this dalliance to excuse your breach of promise to the Porpentine. I should have chid you for not bringing it, but like a shrew, you first began to brawl.
The hour steals on. I pray you, sir, dispatch.
You hear how he importunes me, the chain.
Why give it to my wife and fetch your money?
Come, sir, you know I gave it you even now. Either send the chain or send me by some token.
Aye, now you run this humor out of breath. Where's the chain? I pray you, let me see it.
My business cannot brook this dalliance. Good sir, say whether you'll answer me or no. If not, I'll leave him to the officer.
I answer you? What should I answer you?
The money that you owe me for the chain.
I owe you none till I receive the chain.
You know I gave it you half an hour since.
You gave me none. You wrong me much to say so.
Oh, you wrong me more, sir, in denying it. Consider how it stands upon my credit.
Well, officer, arrest him at my suit.
I do. And charge you in the Duke's name to obey me.
Oh, this touches me in reputation. Either consent to pay this sum for me, or I attach you by this officer.
Consent to pay thee that I never had. Arrest me, foolish fellow, if thou darest.
Here is thy fee. Arrest him, officer. I would not spare my brother in this case if he should scorn me so apparently.
I do arrest you, sir. You hear the suit? I do obey thee till I give thee bail. But, sirrah, you shall buy this sport as dear as all the metal in your shop will answer.
Sir, I shall have the law in Ephesians, your notorious shame. I doubt it not.
Master, there is a bark of Epidamnum that stays but till her owner comes aboard. And then, sir, she bears away. Our fraughtage, sir, I have conveyed aboard, and I have bought the oil, the balsamum, the aquavita. The ship is in her trim. The merry wind blows fair from land. They stay for naught at all, but for their owner, master, and yourself.
Oh, no, a madman. Why, thou peevish sheep, what ship of Epidamnum stays for me?
A ship you sent me to higher waftage.
Thou drunken slave, I sent thee for a rope. I told thee to what purpose and what end.
You sent me for a rope's end as soon as you sent me to the bay, sir, for a bark.
I will debate this matter at more leisure and teach your ears to list me with more heed. To Adriana, villain, hie thee straight, give her this key, and tell her, in the desk that's covered over with Turkish tapestry, there is a purse of ducats. Let her send it. Tell her that I'm arrested in the street, and that I shall bail me. Hie thee, slave, be gone. On, officer, to prison till it come.
To Adriana, that is where we dined, where Dosabel did claim me for her husband. She's too big, I hope for me to encompass. Thither I must, although against my will, for servants must their masters' minds fulfill.
Scene 2, the house of Antipholus of Ephesus. Enter Adriana and Luciana.
Ah, Luciana, did he tempt thee so? Mightst thou perceive austerity in his eye? That he did plead in earnest, yea or no? Looked he red or pale, or sad or merrily? What observation madest thou in this case of his heart's meteors tilting in his face?
First, he denied you had in him no right.
She meant he did me none, the more my spite.
Then swore that he was a stranger here.
And true he swore, though yet forsworn he were.
Then pleaded I for you.
And what said he?
That love I begged for you, he begged of me.
With what persuasion did he tempt thy love?
With words that in an honest suit might move. First he did praise my beauty, then my speech.
Did speak him fair?
Have patience, I beseech.
I cannot, nor I will not hold me still. My tongue, though not my heart, shall have his will. He is deformed, crooked, old, and sere, ill-faced, worse-bodied, shapeless everywhere, vicious, ungentle, foolish, blunt, unkind, symmetrical in making, worse in mind.
Who would be jealous then of such a one? No evil loss is wailed when it is gone.
Ah, but I think him better than I say, and yet would hear in others' eyes were worse. Far from her nest a lapwing cries away. My heart prays for him, though my tongue do curse.
Here, go, the desk, the purse. Sweet now, make haste.
How hast thou lost thy breath?
By running fast.
Where is thy master, Dromio? Is he well?
No, he's in Tartar limbo, worse than hell. A devil in an everlasting garment hath him. One whose hard heart is buttoned up with steel, a fiend, a fury, a pitiless, a rough, a wolf, nay, worse, a fellow in buff, a back friend, shoulder clapper, one that hath countermands the passage of alleys, creeks, and narrow lands, a hound that runs counter and yet draws dry foot well, one that before the judgment carries poor souls to hell.
Why, man, what is the matter?
I do not know the matter. He's rested on the case.
What? Is he arrested? Tell me at whose suit.
I know not at whose suit he is arrested well, but he's in a suit of buff which rested him. That I can tell. Will you send him, Mistress Redemption, the money in his desk?
Go fetch it, sister. This I wonder at, that he, unknown to me, should be in debt. Tell me, was he arrested on a band?
Not on a band, but on a stronger thing. A chain. A chain! Do you not hear it ring?
What? The chain?
No, the bell. It's time that I were gone. It was two ere I left him. Now the clock strikes 1.
The hours come back. That did I never hear.
Oh, yes. If any hour meets a sergeant, but turns back for fear.
As if time were in debt. How fondly dost thou reason?
Time is a very bankrupt, and owes more than he's worth to season. Nay, he's a thief too. And you have not heard men say that time comes stealing on by day and night? If time be in debt and theft, and a sergeant in the way, hath he not reason to turn back an hour in a day?
Go, Dromio, there's the money. Bear it straight, and bring thy master home immediately. Come, sister, I am pressed down with conceit. Conceit my comfort and my injury.
Scene 3, a public place. Enter Antipholus of Syracuse.
There's not a man I meet but doth salute me, as if I were their well-acquainted friend. And everyone doth call me by my name. Some tender money to me, some invite me, some others give me thanks for kindness. Some offer me commodities to buy. Even now a tailor called me in his shop and showed me silks that he had bought from me, and therewithal took measure of my body. Sure, these are but imaginary wiles, and Lapland sorcerers inhabit here.
Master, here's the gold you sent me for. What, have you got the picture of old Adam new apparelled?
What gold is this? What Adam dost thou mean?
Not that Adam that kept the paradise, but that Adam that keeps the prison. He that goes in the calf's skin that was killed for the prodigal. He that came behind you, sir, like an evil angel, and bid you forsake your liberty.
I understand thee not.
No. Why, 'tis plain case, he that went like a bass viol in a case of leather, the man, sir, that when gentlemen are tired, give him a sob and rests him. Here, sir, that takes pity on decayed men and gives them suits of durance, that sets up his rest to do more exploits with his mace than a Morris pike.
What? Thou meanest an officer?
Aye, sir, the sergeant of the band, he that brings any man to answer, it breaks that that breaks his band. One that thinks a man always going to bed and says, God give you good rest.
Well, sir, there rest in your foolery, is there any?
Why, sir, I brought you word an hour since that the bark expedition put forth tonight, and then you hindered by the sergeant to tarry for the holy delay. Here are the angels that sent you for to deliver you.
The fellow is distracted, and so am I. And here we wander in illusions. Some blessed power deliver us from hence.
Well met, Master Antipholus. I see. I see, sir. You have found the goldsmith now. Is that the chain you promised me today?
Satan, avoid, I charge thee, tempt me not.
Master, is this Mistress Satan?
No, it is the devil.
Aye, she's the devil's dam, and here she comes in the habit of a light wench, and therefore comes that the wenches say, God damn me. That's as much to say as, God make me a light wench. It is written they appear to men like angels of light, light as an effect of fire, and fire will burn, ergo light wenches will burn. Come not near her. Your man and you are marvelously merry, sir. Will you go with me? We'll bend our dinner here. Master, if you do, expect spoon meat, or bespeaks a long spoon.
Why, Romeo?
Mary, he must have a long spoon that must eat with the devil.
Avoid them, fiend. What tellest thou me of supping? Thou art, as you are all, a sorceress. I conjure thee to leave me and be gone.
Give me the ring of mine that you had at dinner, or for my diamond, the chain you promised, and I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble you. Some devils ask that the paring of one's nail, a rush of hair, a drop of blood, a pin, a nut, a cherry stone, but she, more covetous, would have a chain. Master, be wise, and if you give it her, the devil will shake her chain to frighten us with it. I pray you, sir, my ring, or else the chain. I hope you do not mean to cheat me so.
Avaunt, thou witch hunt! Romeo, let us go.
Fly, pride, says the peacock, mistress, that you know. Now, out of doubt, Antipholus is mad. Else would he never so demean himself. A ring he hath of mine worth 40 ducats, and for the same he promised me a chain. Both one and the other he denies me now. The reason that I gather he is mad. Besides this present instance of his rage, It is a mad tale he told today at dinner, of his own doors being shut against his entrance. Belike his wife, acquainted with his fits, on purpose that shut the doors against his way. On my way is now to hie him home to his house, and to tell his wife that, being lunatic, he'd rush into my house and took perforce my ring away. This course I fittest choose, for 40 ducats is too much to lose.
Scene for a street. Enter Antipholus of Ephesus and the officer. Fear me not, man, I will not break away. I'll give thee, ere I leave thee, so much money to warrant thee as I am rested for. My wife is in a wayward mood today, and will not lightly trust the messenger that I should be attached in Ephesus. I tell you, 'twill sound harshly in her ears. Here comes my man. I think he brings the money. How now, sir? Have you that I sent you for?
Is that I want you? We'll pay them all.
But where's the money?
Why, sir, I gave the money for the rope.
500 ducats, villain, for rope?
Well, I'll service you the 500 at the rate.
To what end did I bid thee hie thee home?
To the rope's end, sir, and to that end I am returned.
And to that end, sir, I will welcome you.
Ow!
Good sir, be patient.
I sir, 'tis for me to be patient. I am in adversity.
Good, now hold thy tongue.
Nay, rather persuade him to hold his hands.
No, orphan, senseless villain.
I would I was senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows.
Oh, art sensible in nothing but blows, and so is an ass.
Well, I am an ass indeed. Not Mr. Edward. No. You may, you may prove it by my long ears. Never mind. I have served him from this hour of nativity at this instant, and I have nothing at his hands but my service to put blows. When I am cold, he beats me with beating. When I am warm, he cools me with beating. When I'm waked with it, when I sleep, I am raised with it. When I sit, driven out of doors with it. When I go home, go from home, welcomed home with it when I return. Nay, I bear it on my shoulders, as a beggar wont to her brat. And I think, when he hath tamed me, I shall beg with it from door to door.
Go along, my wife is coming yonder.
Mistress, repice finem, respect your end, or rather, prophecy like the parrot, beware the rope's end.
Wilt thou still talk?
How say you now? Is not your husband mad?
His incivility confirms no less. Good Dr. Pinch, you are a conjurer. Establish him in his true sense again, and I will please you to what you will demand.
Alas, how fiery and how sharp he looks.
Mark how he trembles in his ecstasy.
Give me your hand and let me feel your pulse.
There's my hand, and let it feel your ear.
I charge thee, Satan, housed within this man, to yield possession to my holy prayers, and to thy state of darkness hie thee straight. I conjure thee by all the saints in heaven.
Peace, doting wizard, peace, I am not mad.
Oh, that thou wert not, poor distressed soul.
You, minion, you, are these your customers? Did this companion with the saffron face revel and feasted at my house today, whilst upon me the guilty doors were shut, and I denied to enter my house?
Oh, husband, God doth know you dined at home. Where would you have remained until this time, free from these slanders and this open shame?
Dined at home? Thou villain, what sayest thou?
Sooth, sir, to say, you did not dine at home.
Were not my doors locked up and I shut out?
Pardy, your doors were locked and you shut out.
And Did not she herself revile me there?
Sans fable, she herself reviled you there.
Then did not her kitchen maid rail, taunt, and scorn me?
Certes, she did. The kitchen vessel scorned you.
And did not I, in rage, depart from thence?
In verity, you did. My bones bear witness that since have felt the vigor of his rage.
Is it good to soothe him in these contraries?
It is not shame. The fellow finds his vein, and yielding to his humours, well his frenzy.
Thou hast suborned the goldsmith to arrest me.
Alas, I sent you money to redeem you, by Dromio here, who came in haste for it.
Money by me. Heart and goodwill you tonight, but surely, master, not a rag of money.
Wentst thou not to her for a purse of ducats?
He came to me, and I delivered it.
And I am witness with her that she did.
God and the rope maker bear we witness that I was sent for nothing but a rope.
Mistress, both man and master is possessed. I know it by their pale and deadly looks. They must be bound and laid in some dark room.
Say, wherefore didst thou lock me forth today? And why dost thou deny the bag of gold?
I did not, gentle husband, lock thee forth.
And, gentle master, I received no gold. But I confess, sir, we were locked out.
Dissembling villain, thou speakest false in both.
Dissembling harlot, thou art false in all, and art confederate with a damned pack to make a loathsome abject scorn of me. But with these nails, I'll pluck out these false eyes that would behold me in this shameful sport.
Oh, bind him, let him not come near me.
Who more company? The fiend is strong within him.
Ah, me poor man, how pale and wan he looks.
What? Will you murder me, thou jailer thou? I am thy prisoner. Wilt thou suffer them to make a rescue? Oh, masters, let him go. He's my prisoner, and you shall not have him.
Go, bind this man, for he is frantic too.
What wilt thou do, thou peevish officer? Hast thou delight to see a wretched man do outrage and to displeasure himself?
He is my prisoner. If I let him go, the debt he owes will be required of me.
I will discharge thee ere I go from thee. Bear me forthwith unto his creditor, and know how the debt grows. I will pay it. Good master doctor, see him safe conveyed home to my house. Oh, most unhappy day.
Oh, most unhappy strumpet.
Master, I am here entered in bond for you.
Out on thee, villain! Wherefore dost thou mad me?
Will you be bound for nothing? Be mad, good master. Cry the devil.
God help, poor souls, how idly do they talk.
Go bear him thence. Sister, go you with me. Say now, whose suit is he arrested at?
One Angelo, a goldsmith. Do you know him?
I know the man.
Oh.
What is the sum he owes?
200 ducats.
Say how it grows, it do.
Due for a chain your husband had of him.
He did bespeak a chain for me, but had it not.
When, as your husband, all enraged today, came to my house and took away my ring, the ring I saw upon his finger now, straight after did I meet him with a chain.
It may be so, but I did never see it. Come, jailer, bring me to where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large.
God, for thy mercy, they are loose again.
And come with naked swords. Let's call more help to have them bound again.
Why? They'll kill us.
I see these witches are afraid of swords.
She that would be your wife now ran from you.
Come to the centaur, fetch our stuff from thence. I long that we were safe and sound aboard.
Faith, stay here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw they speak us fair, give us gold, Methinks they are such a gentle nation that, but for the mountain of mad flesh that claims marriage of me, I could find in my heart to stay here till and turn witch.
I will not stay tonight for all the town, therefore away to get our stuff aboard.
Act 5, Scene 1. A street before a priory. Enter second merchant and Angela.
I'm sorry, sir, that I have hindered you, but I protest that he hath chained of me, even though most dishonestly he doth deny it.
How is the man esteemed here in the city?
A very reverend reputation, sir, of credit infinite, highly beloved, second to none that lives here in the city. His word might bear my wealth at any time.
Speak softly. Yonder, as I think, he walks.
'Tis so. And that self chain about his neck, for which he forswore most monstrously to have. Good sir, draw near me. I'll speak to him. Signor Antipholus, I wonder much that you could put me to this shame and trouble, and not to without some scandal to yourself, with circumstance and oaths, so to deny this chain which now you wear so openly, beside the charge, the shame, imprisonment. You have done wrong to this my honest friend, who, but for staying on in controversy, have hoisted sail and put out to sea today. This chain you had of me, can you deny it?
I think I had. I never did deny it.
Yes, that you did, sir, and forswore it too.
Who heard me to deny it or forswear it?
These ears of mine, thou knowest, did hear thee. Fie on thee, wretch. 'Tis pity that thou livest to walk where any honest man resort.
Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I'll prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou darest stand.
I dare, and do defy thee for a villain.
Hold! Hurt him not! For God's sake, he is mad! Some get within him. Take his sword away. Bind Romeo too, and bear them to my house.
Run, master, run! For God's sake, take a house. This is some priory. In, or we're spoiled.
Be quiet, people, wherefore throng you hither?
To fetch my poor distracted husband hence. Let us come in, that we may bind him fast and bear him home for his recovery.
Well, I knew he was not in the perfect wits.
I am sorry now that I did draw on him.
How long hath this possession held the man?
This week he hath been heavy, sour, sad, and much different from the man he was. But until this afternoon his passion ne'er brake until into extremity of rage.
Hath he not lost much wealth by wreck of sea? Buried some dear friend? Hath not else his eye strayed his affection on unlawful love? A sin prevailing much in youthful men, who give their eyes the liberty of gazing. Which of these sorrows is his subject to?
None of these, except it be the last, namely, some love that he drew him off from home.
You should for that have reprehended him.
Why, so I did.
Aye, but not rough enough.
As roughly as my modesty would let me.
Happily in private.
And in assemblies too.
Aye, but not enough.
It was the copy of our conference. In bed he slept not for my urging it. At board he fed not for my urging it. Alone it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced at it. Still did I tell him it was vile and bad.
And therefore came it that the man was mad. The venom clamor of jealous women. Poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seems his sleeps were hindered by thy railing, and thereof comes in that his head is light. Thou say'st his meat was sauced with thy unbraided grapelings. Unquiet meals make ill digestions. Therefore, thereof the raging fire of fever bred. And what's a fever but a fit of madness? Thou say'st his sports were hindered by thy brawls. Sweet recreation barred what doth ensue, but moody and dull melancholy, kinsman to grim and comfortless despair, and at her heels a huge infectious troop of pale distemperature and foe to life, in food, in sport, and life-preserving rest, to be disturbed with man or beast. The consequence is, then, jealous fits hath scarred thy husband from the use of wits. Oh, she never reprehended him but mildly, when he demanded himself rough, rude, and wildly. Why bear you these rebukes and answer not?
She did betray me to my own reproof. Good people, enter and lay hold on him.
No, not a creature enters in my house.
Then let your servants bring my husband forth.
Neither he took this place for sanctuary, and it shall privilege him from your hands, till I have brought him to his wits again, or lose my labor in saying it.
I will attend my husband, be his nurse, die in his sickness. It is my office, and will have no attorney but myself, and therefore let me have him home with me.
Be patient, for I will not let him stir, till I have used the approved means I have, with wholesome syrups, drugs, and holy prayers, to make of him a formal man again. It is a branch and parcel of my oath, a charitable duty of my order. Therefore depart, and leave him here with me.
I will not hence, and leave my husband here. And ill it doth beseem your holiness to separate the husband and the wife.
Be quiet and depart. Thou shalt not have him. Complain unto the Duke of this indignity.
Come, go. I will fall prostrate at his feet, and never rise until my tears and prayers have won his grace to come in person hither, and take perforce my husband from the abyss.
By this, I think the dial points at 5. Anon, I'm sure, the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, the place of death and sorry execution, behind the ditches of the abbey here.
Upon what cause?
To see a reverend Syracusian merchant who put unluckily into this bay, against the laws and statutes of this town, beheaded publicly for his offense.
See where they come, we will behold his death.
Kneel to the Duke before he pass the abbey.
Yet once again proclaim it publicly. If any friend will pay the sum for him, he shall not die. So much we tender him.
Justice, most sacred Duke, against the abbess.
She is a virtuous and a reverend lady. Cannot be that she hath done thee wrong.
May it please your grace, Antipholus my husband, who I made lord of me and all I had, it's your important letters. This ill day a most outrageous fit of madness took him, that desperately he hurried through the street, with him his bondmen, all as mad as he, doing displeasure to the citizens by rushing in their houses, bearing thence rings, jewels, anything his rage did like. Once did he get him bound and sent him home, whilst to take orders for the wrongs I went, that here and there his fury had committed. Anon, I wot not by what strong escape, he broke from those that had the guard of him, and with his mad attendant and himself, each one with ireful passion, with drawn swords, met us again, and madly bent on us, chased us away, till raising of more aid, we come again to bind them. Then they fled into this abbey, whither we pursued them, and here the abbess shuts the gates on us, and will not suffer us to fetch him out, nor send him forth that we may bear him hence. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let him be brought forth and borne hence for help.
Long since my husband served me in my wars, thy husband served me in thy wars, and I to thee engaged the prince's word, when thou didst make him master of thy bed, to do him all the grace and good I could. Go, some of you, knock at the abbey gate and bid the lady abbess come to me. I will determine this before I stir.
Oh, mistress, shift and save yourself. My master and his man are both broke loose, beaten the maids a row and bound the doctor, whose beard they have singed off with brands of fire, and ever as it blazed, they threw on him great pails of puddled mire to quench the hair. My master preaches patience to him, and the while his man with scissors nicks him like a fool. And sure, unless you send some present help, between them they will kill the conjurer.
Fool, thy master and his men are here, and that is false thou dost report to us.
My mistress, upon my life, I tell you true. I have not breathed almost since I did see it. He cries for you and vows, if he can take you, to scorch your face and to disfigure you. I can hear him. Mistress, fly, be gone.
Come, stand by me, fear nothing. Guard with halberd.
Ah, me, it is my husband. Witness you that he is born about invisible. Even now we housed him in the abbey here, and now he's here. Past thought of human reason.
Justice, most gracious Duke, oh, grant me justice, even for the service that long since I did thee, when I bestrid thee in the wars, and took deep scars to save thy life, even for the blood that then I lost for thee. Now, grant me justice.
Unless the fear of death doth make me dote, I see my son Antipholus and Dromio.
Justice, sweet prince, against that woman there, she whom thou gavest to me to be my wife, that hath abused me and dishonored me, even in the strength and height of injury. Beyond imagination is the wrong that she this day hath shameless thrown on me. Discover how, and thou shalt find me just. This day, great Duke, she shut the doors upon me, while she with harlots feasted in my home. Oh, grievous fault. Say, woman, didst thou so?
No, my good lord. Myself, he and my sister today did dine together. So befall my soul, as this is false he burdens me withal.
Ne'er may I look on day or nor sleep on night, but she tells to your highness simple truth.
Perjured woman, thou art both forsworn, 'tis this madman unjustly charges them.
My liege, I am advised what I say, neither disturbed with the effect of wine, nor heady rash, provoked with raging ire, albeit my wrongs make one wiser man. This woman locked me out this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were he not packed with her, could witness it, for he was with me then, who parted with me to go fetch a chain, promising to bring it to the Porpentine, where Balthazar and I did dine together. Our dinner done, and he not coming thither, I went to seek him. In the street I met him, and in his company, that gentleman there did this perjured goldsmith swear me down that I this day of him received the chain, which, God he knows, I saw not, for the which he did arrest me with an officer. I did obey, sent my peasant home a certain ducats. He with none returned. Then, barely, I bespoke the officer to go in person with me to my house. By the way, we met my wife, her sister, and a rabble more of vile confederates. Along with them, they brought one Pinch, a hungry, lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a mountebank, a threadbare juggler and a fortune-teller, a needy, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wretch, dead-looking man. This pernicious slave, forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, and gazing in mine eyes, feeling my pulse, and with no face as 'twere outfacing me, cries out I was possessed. Then, all together, they fell upon me, bound me, bore me thence in a dark and dankish vault at home. There left me and my man both bound together, till, gnawing with my teeth my bonds in sunder, I gained my freedom, and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech to give me ample satisfaction for these deep shames and great indignities.
My lord, in truth, thus far I witness with him that he dined not at home, but was locked out.
But had he such a chain of thee, or no?
Well, he had, my lord, but when he ran in here, these people saw the chain about his neck.
Besides, I will be sworn of these ears of mine, heard you confess you had the chain of him, after you first forswore it on the mart, and where thereupon I drew my sword on you, and then you fled into the abbey here, from whence I think you are come by miracle.
I never came within these abbey walls, nor ever did thou draw thy sword on me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven. And this is false you burden me withal. Why, what an intricate impeach is this? I think you all have drunk of Circe's cup. If here you housed him, here he would have been. If he were mad, he would not plead so coldly. You say he dined at home. The goldsmith here denies that, saying, Zero, what say you?
So he dined with her there at the Porcupine.
He did! He did it from my finger, snatched that ring.
It's true, my liege. This ring I had of her. So saw thou him enter at the abbey here?
As sure, my liege, as I do see your grace.
Yes, this is strange. So, call the abbess hither. I think you are all mated or stark mad.
Most mighty Duke, vouchsafe me speak a word. Haply I see a friend will save my life, and pay the sum that may deliver me.
Speak freely, Sir Crucian, what thou wilt.
Is it not your name, sir, called Antipholus? And is not that your bondman Dromio?
Within this hour I was his bondsman, sir, but he, I thank him, gnawed in two my cords. Now am I Dromio, and his man unbound.
I am sure you both of you remember me.
Ourselves we do remember you, sir, by you, but for lately we are bound as you are now. You are not Pinch's patient, are you, sir?
Why look you strange on me? You know me well.
I never saw you in my life till now.
Oh, grief hath changed me since you saw me last, and careful hours with time's deformed hand have written strange defeatures in my face. But tell me yet, doth thou not know my voice?
Neither?
Dromio, nor thou? Dromio?
No, trust me, sir, nor I.
I am sure thou dost.
Aye, sir, but I am sure I do not. And whatever a man denies, you are now bound to believe him.
Not know my voice. Oh, time's extremity. Thou hast so cracked and splitted my poor tongue, in 7 short years, that here my only son knows not my feeble key of untuned cares. Though now his grained face of mine be hid in sap-consuming winter's drizzled snow, and all the conduits of my blood froze up, yet hath my night of life some memory, my wasting lamp some fading glimmer of hope. My dull deaf ears has little used to hear all these old witnesses I cannot err. Tell me thou art my son Antipholus.
I never saw my father in my life.
But 7 years since, in Syracusa, boy, I knowest we parted, but perhaps, my son, thou shamest to acknowledge me in misery.
The Duke and all that know me in the city can witness with me that it is not so. I ne'er saw Syracusa in my life. I tell thee, Syracusan, 20 years have I been patron to Antipholus, during which time he ne'er saw Syracusa. I see thy age and dangers make thee dote.
The most mighty Duke, behold a man much wronged.
I see 2 husbands, or mine eyes deceive me.
One of these men is genius to the other, and so of thee. Which is the natural man, and which the spirit? Who deciphers them?
Oh, sir, I, sir, am Dromio. Command him away.
I, sir, am Dromio. Pray let me stay.
Hey, John, art thou not, or else his ghost?
Oh, my old master, who hath bound him here?
Whoever bound him, I will loose his bounds, and gain a husband by his liberty. Speak, old Asian, if thou bett'st the man that hast a wife once called Amelia, that bore thee at a burden 2 fair sons. Oh, if thou bett'st the same Arjun, speak, and speak unto the same Amelia.
If I dream not, thou art Amelia. If thou art she, tell me where she is, that son that floated with thee on the fatal raft.
By men of Epidemnum, he and I, and the twin Dromio, all were taken up. But by and by, rude fishermen of Corinth, by force took Dromio and my son from them. And me they left with those of Epidemnum. What then became of them, I cannot tell. I to this fortune that you see me in.
Why, here begins this morning story right. These 2 Antipholuses, these 2 so like, and these 2 Dromio, one in semblance, besides her urging of the wrecked sea, these are the parents to these children, which accidentally are met together. Antipholus, thou camest from Corinth first? No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse. Stay, stand apart. I know not which is which. I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
And I with him.
And brought to this town by that most famous warrior, Duke Menaphon, your renowned uncle.
Which of you 2 did dine with me today?
Which
of you 2? And are you not my husband?
No, I say nay to that.
And so do I. Yet did she call me so? And this fair gentlewoman, her sister here, did call me brother. What I told you then, I hope I shall have leisure to make good, if this be not a dream I see and hear.
Well, that is the change, sir, which you had of me.
I think it be, sir. I deny it not.
And you, sir, for this chain arrested me?
I think I did, sir. I deny it not.
I sent you money, sir, to be your bail, by Dromio, but I think he brought it not.
But not by me.
This purse of ducats I received from you, and Dromio my man did bring them me. I see we still did meet each other's man, and I was ta'en for him, and he for me. And thereupon these errors arose.
These ducats pawn I for my father here. It shall not need thy father have his rights.
Sir, I must have that diamond from you.
There, take it, and much thanks for thy good cheer.
Renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take the pains to go with us into the abbey here, and hear a large discourse all our fortunes, and all that are assembled in this place, that by this sympathized one day's hour have suffered wrong so, keep us company, and we shall make full satisfaction. 25 years have I but gone in travail of you, my sons, nor till this present hour my heavy burdens are delivered. The Duke, my husband, and my children both, and you are the calendars of their nativity. Go to a gossip's feast, and go with me after so long grief, such nativity.
With all my heart, I'll gossip at this feast.
Master, shall I fetch your stuff from shipboard?
Romeo, what stuff of mine hast thou embarked?
Your goods that lay at host, sir, in the Centaur.
He speaks to me. I am your master, Romeo. Come, go with us. We'll look to that anon. Embrace thy brother there. Rejoice with him.
There is a fat friend at your master's house. The kitchen before you today at dinner. She now shall be my sister, not my wife.
Thinks you are my godson, not my brother. I see by you I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk in to see their gossiping?
Not I, sir. You are my elder.
Oh, that's our question. How shall we try it?
We'll draw cuts for the senior, and then we'll lead thou first.
Nay, then thus. We came into the world like brother and brother, and now let's go hand in hand, not one before another.
Excellent. All of our players have been. All players exuented earlier.
Thank you for attending our performance of the Pandemic Theater.
The plague players.
Not the Panic Theater.
The Omicron Theater Company.
Who are we missing? Oh my, Kron! We're missing everyone.
Oh, my Kron. Yes.
Oh, the dogs are sleeping.
Hi.
They're in the corner sleeping now.
Bella's taking a nap too.
We added extra errors to our comedy of errors.
Richard, thank you for that picture of the blood. That was so nice.
Welcome. Thank you. Yeah. I had a good time making it. So.
What picture?
He
she gave me sea glass, so I made it into a Christmas ornament. I gave to someone. So.
He loves to put sea glass on stuff, like on bowling balls and stuff.
Everything
in sight.
I shall glue sea glass to it.
It's not like it's an easy thing to find either. So.
Oh no, but I had years to pick it up. So. That's why there's no sea glass left in some of these places, because I went.
People like you, damn it!
It was you.
So it was on the beach.
He even tells people about it, so then they go and think that they could get more.
I know. I showed them everything.
There's one part I wanted to get flexible about and change, but I decided to gallop through it instead. But it's on Act 4, Scene 4, where Antipholus of Ephesians says, "Thou art sensible in nothing but blows, and so is an ass." And Dromio of Ephesians says, "I am an ass indeed. You may prove it by my long ears." I was tempted to say, "Because I have played bottom." There we are.
Bravo.
Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Confusing.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for hanging in there,
Leave it
Peter.
for show next time.
Yeah.
Hey, aloha.
Aloha.
Next time, Romeo and Juliet, pick your parts,
Yes,
please.
RJ.
Bye.
Juliet?
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Mark.